Hey guys, this is your girl LA from the Lock Salon. Finally having a little time to make a little video about what has been going on with the Lock Salon. I think the last video I made was, I think it was a short, and I was just showing myself. I was retightening my hair on my 7-day cruise that I went on for one of my good friends' birthdays. Oh, it was a blast. But when I got back from vacation, life really changed for me. I have my 18-year-old nephew. He's going to be staying with me, commuting to school, actually the university that I work at. And then his younger sister, my niece, my only niece, she's been having some things going on, but she is now staying with me right now. And so it's been a lot of adjusting. First of all, I haven't had as much time to myself as I had been accustomed to having prior to going on that cruise. That's why you never know when things happen in your life. You never know why. Because I think that when I went on that cruise, it was such a time to detach from everything and just really relax, relate, release. And at that time, I wasn't even relaxing and releasing from what is currently going on with life. It was just life, but I needed that time. And now as I just sit here and reflect, I'm like, you know what? I think God was giving me that time of rest, that time of tranquility, that time of, even though I wasn't by myself, but I did have some time to myself, sitting out on the balcony and just enjoying, the beautiful creation of God, the ocean, and it was just beautiful. But like I said, I think he gave me that time because he knew what I was getting ready to come into. And it's not that, I'm upset or like that I'm stressed out, about the situation, because, my nephew, he's an adult college student, and, he asked if he could stay with me. I had a spare bedroom. Now, granted, my niece was a bit of a surprise, but I have another room for her too, So I've enjoyed empty nesting. I've enjoyed living by myself and coming home by myself. But I can also find the benefit of, here go the dogs. I can also find the benefit of having the company in the house. For instance, these dogs over here, okay? Like just yesterday, I was able to go out after work with some girlfriends and not have to come straight home to let the dogs out. So, because my niece and nephew are here, it does kind of free up some of my time, and I can really appreciate that. But anyway, what I really wanted to talk about today is losing clients, right? So, when I came back from vacation, I had already had one client that had missed her scheduled appointment a couple of weeks before that. And, I was kind of waiting for her to call to, reschedule. But time kept going past. And because, she's a young woman, and I had known some things were going on with her, I said, well, let me reach out, and see if everything is okay. Because at first I was like, you know what? Hands off. She'll call me if she needs me. But I decided to go ahead and, reach out and see if everything was okay. So what she wound up telling me was that she's in the process of moving. And so therefore, she's working on retightening her own hair, practicing retightening her hair. So I wasn't totally surprised by that. And because it's important as a Sisterlock consultant, or I also believe just when you are in this industry, the beauty industry, the hair industry, you have to pay attention to your clients. How do they come to you? One thing I like about being a Sisterlock consultant, that when we do our consultation for people who want Sisterlocks, part of that consultation is asking them about their hair history. How did they used to wear eventually become one of my clients who would move on and began taking over her maintenance for her locks. So I was not totally surprised. Of course, just a little bit from a financial standpoint, I'm like, oh man, okay, so I can't count on, that income right now, but as God works, what's for you is for you. Number one, for a couple of months, I feel like I've really been jumping, with my Sisterlock clients. My own clients, and then I had some other people coming kind of for drop-in services, like I did the person's hair where she wanted 2-strand twists. I had like at least 2 other transfer clients. So that was 3 additional clients to the 3 clients that I have already started on their Sisterlock journey. So in terms of my weekends, for a while, I was kind of like working pretty much one day of every weekend for the past couple of months. And being a Sisterlock consultant is a lot of work, on your feet, you're stretching your hands, and you're doing this, and you're doing that, and, people are taller than me, so I got to stand on my, where is it? The little pink thing back there, that's my stepper, and it's supposed to be for exercise, but I have to use it to make myself a little taller, to reach my clients that are taller than me. Stop it. Quiet. But, hold on. Stop. Yeah, so I have to, okay, I lost my train of thought. These animals. Stop it. Max. Look at them. Stop it. I'm trying to make a video. But, let's see. Yeah, so I was just doing a lot of work, and my goal for being a Sisterlock consultant, yes, it is to have that other stream of income, but I'm not trying to have every weekend be Sisterlock clients because I need my time. I write as well, so I need time for writing. I need time for relaxation, and I don't want to get so many clients that when it's time for me to travel, that I have to do a lot of maneuvering. I don't want to have to send my clients to other consultants, when my travel schedule comes up, things like that. So, my point is that, yes, I lost that one client, and it may not even be a permanent loss. She's doing her hair right now. She may want to come back. I would be here for her if she does. That's why it's important, when a client chooses, let you know that they're, either going to do their own hair or they're trying somebody else out. Don't take it personal. Just say, okay, I wish you the best. And that was kind of what I said to her. Good luck with everything. I don't own my clients, even though I do feel like some Sisterlock consultants, well, I'm not even going to say that. I'm just going to say some people in the industry, like once they perform a service for you, if you go to them on any sort of regularity, they can think that they own you, So if you have a regular nail tech that you go to and you want to try somebody else out, like your nail tech could catch an attitude with you because you decided to try somebody else out. No, I feel like as a beauty practitioner, if you're in this business, you do lashes, you do brows, you do even, massages and things like that, whatever it is that you do, you have to be prepared for clients to come and go, not taking it personal, if they choose to go. And I'm actually thinking about, with my clients, like, this is a librarian in me thinking about assessment. So I kind of want to start preparing kind of like an assessment of my services, of my home salon, so that I can get some feedback. Because as you see, I do have animals. Now, before I service somebody, I do let them know that I have animals, and I ask them if they're okay with that. And when they smoke, everybody has said yes. Most of them have been like, oh yes, I love dogs. So that's cool. But maybe if my dogs start barking, which they sometimes do, I feel like my little dog, he kind of has I would say about a 4-hour threshold before he starts getting a little antsy. So maybe if my dog is barking, and he's in the cage. Stop it! Now I have my niece's dog over here. So okay, yeah, life is changing. But anyway, yeah. So I do want to start sending out some type of an assessment survey, of services, that I provide, so that I give my clients the opportunity to say, what they're happy with, what maybe I could do better, all of that, because it'll help me, be a better Sisterlock consultant. But the other thing, so that's the one client who has decided to move on. Then I had another client that I was supposed to do her hair last Sunday, and I did because with people who don't come regularly, I follow up with them, or I confirm their appointments about 48 hours before time. So I had texted her a couple of days before her appointment to see if she was coming, and she asked me to cancel her appointment. She's found another consultant closer to her. And again, no sweat off of my back. I totally get it. She drove an hour to me. I'm the type of person, I'm not driving an hour for a hair appointment. I don't care if the hair appointment is 4 hours, long. It's not like you're in there for 30 minutes and you're gone. I wouldn't want to drive an hour. So the very first time that she made an appointment with me, when she told me that she was coming from over an hour away, I was already thinking, why do you want to drive so far? Like, I'm sure there's people closer to you. But she had her reason. For my purposes, I was there to provide a service for her. I didn't take ownership of her as a client, even though she has been to me on 2 occasions. So like I tell my children and anybody who, wants to listen to my financial advice, but don't count money until it's in your hand. Now, aside from our regular paychecks, that's one thing. You should be able to count on your paycheck every 2 weeks or however often you get it. But when it comes to services where you have to perform the service in order to get the service, or you're selling a product that you have to first sell before you get the money, that stuff is all, it's hit or miss. That's not the term that I really want to use. That's not the phrase that I want to use. But it's not guaranteed until it actually happens. So I'm very careful with not like looking ahead. Like if I have 2 or 3 clients scheduled in the month, I don't immediately add that income, to my budgeted money for the month, because hey, they might not come. So I don't want to sit there and start spending money in my head before I even get it. So very glad, that she let me know that she would be going somewhere else. But, the beauty industry or any type of business that you have is all about relationships, So when she told me that she wasn't coming, I would say, okay, I wish you the best. Thank you for allowing me to service you. That might leave a lasting impression with her. So if she ever finds herself, in a tight and she needs somebody to do her hair, she may come to me. So customer service is pivotal. And I appreciate my customer service skills that I developed first as a cashier at Burger King when I was 16 years old. I love servicing my clients. I love servicing my customers. I love bringing a smile to their face. And then when I started working for AT&T, when I was like 22 years old in customer service roles, I liked, making people happy, in terms of providing them with good service. And especially now in today's day and age where customer service is like, finding good customer service is very hard, so the fact that I have an opportunity through doing Sisterlocks, I can provide people, acting like you are the only person, that can do this particular style for them. And because things are going up and people have to make decisions about how they're going to be spending their money. So it's nothing wrong with somebody saying, you know what, I'm getting ready to try to do these knotless braids, myself. Or I'm going to go to the beauty supply store and see if I can find a cute wig that I could wear that has a style. And that is totally, that's their prerogative if that's what they want to do. So I feel that as beauty service providers, when you're dealing with customers who may come and go, it's your responsibility to kind of ante up, on the services that you provide or advertising your services. If you lose one or two customers in a month, don't sweat it. Advertise a little bit more, and see if you can acquire more customers. Offer your current clients some referrals, offering your clients referrals. Like, hey, if you refer somebody to me, you get, a percentage off or a certain dollar amount off of your service. So that's where I am, So I was not upset with either of these two ladies, who are not currently coming to me. And I always try to find the positive in it, because when the client who was driving an hour, when she canceled her appointment, I really wasn't mad, because it had probably been like 2 weeks since my cruise that I had a Sisterlock client on Saturday. So if she had come on Sunday, that would have been 2 days on my feet, doing this grueling work sometimes, of Sisterlock. So it kind of was like a load off. I was able to enjoy that day of my weekend. And, but if she want to come back, I try not to work on Sundays for the most part, but I will do it, to accommodate certain people's schedules or my schedule if I, from my drop-in people mainly. Because my regular clients, they take up the Saturdays, but if I have somebody else that comes in, I'll do a Sunday. And then sometimes with my work from my remote days with my day job, if I have kind of a clear schedule with no meetings, I'll try to fit people in that way as well. But I don't want to do too much of that, because like I said, I've done it before, and the times when I find myself working on a remote day and then having somebody on Saturday, it gets to be a lot. And you know what happens with money? You think that you're making extra money, but a lot of times it's not really extra. It's like it's going towards something else that, you may not have even planned. It's like right now, I need to get breaks done, so I'm trying to save up, $400, because I don't want to charge anything, trying to lay off of using credit cards. So when I get a client, I would love to be able to get that money and be like, ooh, I'm going to throw this in my savings account, or I'm going to go and treat myself to this, that, or the other. But it's usually going somewhere, for something that I need, something that is my household is in need of. And, I remind myself, work, God created this whole system that we are supposed to work for our livelihoods. And we have a lot of things to do with this money, paying for your day-to-day living, trying to save for retirement, but the money that we make, it really takes a lot of wisdom and a lot of strategy to stretch it and make it do all the things that you need it to do for you, but I just think about that a lot when I started doing, Sisterlocks. I was like, man, I kind of got into this to supplement my income, so maybe I could save a little bit more, but I'm not really saving that much. I can say I believe in saving a little at a time, and I'm going to hurry up because I'm going on too long. But so I just try to do the best that I can do with the money that I get, to use it for what it's used for. But going back to, the point of this video, I appreciate my clients while I have them, and I do not create ownership over them. I know that they have free will to go to tell people, that I have dog. Maybe they're just saying okay because, well, heck, I need to get my hair done as long as, the dogs are locked up or whatever. But it would be nice to know if that's a problem, or if I have stuff on my couch, some people could look at your house if it's not to their expectation of, cleanliness. Like right now, I have my niece was on my couch, so there's a blanket on the couch. If I had a client here, I might not immediately have put that blanket away. You know what I mean? So somebody, depending on, what their expectation is, they can be like, oh, she got a couch. She has a blanket on her couch and she didn't put it away, Who knows, But I think I will implement that. And when I do, I will definitely talk about it on the video and let you guys know what type of feedback I get or if it's received. Because, a lot of times you send out surveys and people they don't feel like that. I know when I get surveys from whomever, I've never gotten a survey from somebody whose service, be in this capacity. I mean, hey, I might be inventing something right now, assess yourself. But anyway, that's it for now. I'm glad to be back. I hope to make some more videos and gotta make more time for this. So until next time.